morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here today. My name is Tracey Perry, MHA for Fortune Bay, Cape Lahoon, and I have the pleasure to MC today's great announcement. Join me in welcoming the Honourable Terry French, Minister of Innovation, Business and Rural Development, Senator David Wells, representing the Honourable Rob Moore, Regional Minister for Newfoundland and Labrador, and Minister of State for the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. Mr. Geoff Davis, Regional Vice President of Sales for Newfoundland and Labrador Bell Aliant, Chief Misel Joe, Maubugik First Nation, officials and colleagues. I now invite Minister French to speak and share an important announcement on the Rural Broadband Initiative.
Well, thank you very much, Tracey, and good morning, everyone. And certainly thank you all for coming. I certainly appreciate it. And I certainly want to welcome my special guests here this morning. Senator Wells, myself and Senator Wells go back quite a ways, so it's good to see you again, Davis. Good to have you here. Who would have thought that we'd be sharing an announcement for the province way back, anyway. Mr. Davis from Bell Aliant. Bell Aliant has been a good corporate sponsor and has worked very well with the province in establishing rural broadband throughout. And Chief Joe, and I certainly want to acknowledge his contribution here because this announcement really started a long time ago, and without Chief Joe and his persistence and his continuing to fight for rural improvements in rural broadband in his area, we wouldn't all be here today. So I certainly want to acknowledge the special contribution that he's made. We are very fortunate to be living and working in a province with a strong, dynamic economy. As a government, we recognize the necessity of making strategic investments, and one of those is in broadband infrastructure. Access to modern telecommunications service is vital in many aspects of education, healthcare, business, and community life, particularly in rural Newfoundland. For the province's communities and businesses to thrive and compete on a level playing field in today's global marketplace, the use of innovative technology and access to broadband infrastructure is crucial. Communications infrastructure is central to stimulating prosperous communities because greater access to new technologies provides residents with employment and academic opportunities, along with improved access to government services. As part of our ongoing commitment to providing leading-edge telecommunications services and infrastructure to the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, today I am pleased to announce the governments of Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador, and Bell Aliant have partnered to support an initiative which will enhance and extend broadband coverage to the Connaigre Peninsula. Our government is pleased to contribute $1.3 million in support of this project. The project will strengthen infrastructure, support improvements to current services, and deliver improved broadband to over 2,000 households on the Connaigre Peninsula. This investment will also support the Maubugik First Nation with significant new broadband infrastructure that will relieve congestion in Conn River and allow for new customers to avail of internet services. It will support their initiatives in healthcare and education. Since our government began to invest in rural broadband, more than 500 communities throughout Newfoundland and Labrador now have access to broadband services, up from 114 communities in 2003. We are pleased to continue to advance broadband access to communities and businesses throughout the province and have made tremendous progress with 95% of the provincial population having coverage. The new broadband capacity will support economic and social opportunities and provide a more attractive environment for business development. When we think of the Connaigre Peninsula today, we immediately think of a $200 million aquaculture industry. With such great promise for future growth, it is critical for this industry to have improved connectivity with customers and the greater global market. Improved broadband access will also assist their growing operational requirements in the region. We are being innovative by supporting a variety of technologies such as fiber, wireless and satellite, and we continue to explore new opportunities to invest and strengthen our province's innovation infrastructure. The result of our efforts, along with those of our strategic partners like ACOA and Bell Aliant, has been the establishment of a high-speed internet system throughout Newfoundland and Labrador, one that we continue to build on. Our government is committed to advancing rural broadband coverage and improving the province's telecommunications environment. We recognize that it is critical to industry success and is a central component in the province's innovation infrastructure. Through investments like this one, we are ensuring that broadband infrastructure is reaching Newfoundland and Labrador and providing the broadband access they require. With the continued expansion of broadband coverage, we are moving the province's innovative infrastructure forward and will continue to work with community, industry, and government partners to further strengthen broadband infrastructure in the province. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister French. I now invite Senator Wells to speak.
Thank you, Tracey. Thank you, Minister French. Good to see you, Chief Joe, again. And Mr. Davis, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Chief Joe for taking the time to travel from the Connaigre Peninsula to be here with us today for the important announcement on behalf of the Mwapukek First Nation. I'm pleased to be here today to take part in this important announcement for an initiative that aligns with the Government of Canada's priorities and highlights our commitments to investing in telecommunications infrastructure, community development, and Aboriginal communities. The Government of Canada's Economic Action Plan 2014 demonstrates our continued support for innovation through significant investments that will help create economic growth and prosperous communities across Canada. Reliable broadband connectivity is as much a determining factor in a community's success and prosperity today as roads, wharves, and electricity was in the past. The Government of Canada remains focused on creating jobs and opportunities for Canadians by promoting economic growth, keeping taxes low, and keeping Canadian families and communities safe. We're working on a number of fronts to create the conditions for new and better jobs for all Canadians across all sectors of the economy, including new economic and trade agreements, responsible resource development, and supporting targeted sectors such as shipbuilding, manufacturing, science and technology, small business, tourism, and of course, fisheries. Today's announcement is a perfect example of our commitment to science and technology and small business, which, as you know, is the foundation of our economy. That's why I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Canada, through ACOA and Aboriginal Affairs and Northern Development Canada, is providing an investment of $1.5 million to help improve broadband infrastructure on the Connaigre Peninsula with the construction of a new fibre line. This line will serve as the foundation for enhanced broadband connectivity throughout the southern part of the province. The new line will run from Harbour Breton to Milltown Head of Bay Despair, including connections to Pools Cove, Hermitage, and Simmons Radio Site. The Government of Canada's support for this project will enhance opportunities for economic development throughout the region and help create new economic opportunities. This will be particularly beneficial to the expanding aquaculture industry on the Connaigre Peninsula, which continues to provide opportunities for economic diversification and employment and has led to increased demands for telecommunication services. And in fact, the Senate Committee on Fisheries, of which I am a member, will be touring the south coast of Newfoundland and the aquaculture facilities in the coming months. Access to faster, more reliable internet service will help meet these demands and improve opportunities for new business growth. It will improve the ability of companies in the region to establish, expand, and operate more efficiently, strengthening their business infrastructure and improving their economic development and job creation capacity. This significant investment also highlights the Government of Canada's commitment to working in partnership with Aboriginal people to create healthier and more prosperous communities. We recognize the Mwapukek First Nation and Chief Joe in particular for their leadership and commitment to bringing reliable broadband service to the Connaigre Peninsula, and also Bell Aliant for their support of this project. I also commend Minister French for his government's commitment and contribution to this initiative. Thank you, Minister French. Through this investment, and with all parties working together, we're helping to ensure that Canadians have access to the tremendous economic opportunities created through reliable internet connectivity. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Wells. Mr. Davis will now speak on behalf of Bell Aliant.
Thank you, Tracey. Minister French, Senator Wells, Chief Joe, distinguished guests, good morning. On behalf of Bell Aliant, I'm extremely happy to be here today as we announce the details of another very productive partnership with the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador and the Government of Canada. This kind of collaboration shows what's possible when partners get together to leverage investments and technology to meet the needs of the people that we serve. Bell Aliant's investment of $1.17 million will mean a significant improvement to internet services in several communities on the Connaigre Peninsula. It will increase connection speeds and give more people access to existing services. At Bell Aliant, we fully recognize the importance of quality internet access and what it provides for both individuals and businesses, not only in day-to-day life, but on a much larger scale, on a global scale. This investment further reinforces our commitment to the economic and social prosperity of Newfoundland and Labrador. Bell Aliant is proud to be a key player in the Rural Broadband Initiative since it started in 2011, and we congratulate everyone involved for their contributions to this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. And it's now my great pleasure to ask you to join me in welcoming the catalyst behind all of this investment for the Coast Bays region, Chief Misel Joe.
Just want to thank all our partners that got involved in this initiative and made it work. But particularly to Minister Velcor, when I met with the minister last year and spoke about this need that we have in Con River, his response to me is, well, how bad is your system? And at the time, the only response I could think was, well, it's about 2 notches above a smoke signal. So he had a chuckle over that, and he said, well, that's really bad. We need to do something. And he took it to heart, and thank God he did. And it's been a long time in coming, but, the only words that come to mind at this stage that can, clearly state my feeling of where we are is Yahoo! We're finally here. I know at times it's been frustrating. At times I thought that nobody cared that we were down on the Connaigre and we weren't getting the things done that we needed. Business is slow for us. We're now moving into this century where our business can work like every other business that's been connected. And that's been a really, really hard chore for us. My big interest in this, of course, is we're trying to convince MUN that we could have first-year university in Con River. And without this kind of connection, we can't do that, and that's important for us. We can build all the business that we want, but if we can't educate our children the way we need to, then business will just simply fail. So those are the really important things that I wanted to put into this, is that it's bringing our children into this day and age where they become the next leaders and go-getters in our province. They'll have a easier time than we have had over the last few years. Of course, the federal government too as well is always demanding that we have our reports in on time. We can't do it under the old system. Now we'll overload them with the system. We're way ahead of them. Well, thank you so much, and to everybody on this table, much appreciated for all the hard work that's been put into it. Thank you. Well,